It was just another flight from New York to Los Angeles. Or so everyone thought. Flight 4826 was halfway through its 5-hour journey when it happened. The cabin lights were dimmed. The hum of the engines, the occasional clink of cutlery, and the quiet chatter of passengers created a peaceful lull. Until a scream pierced the stillness. "Help! She's not waking up!" A man in a navy blue t-shirt had leapt up from his seat, holding a woman, perhaps in her 40s, who appeared unconscious, her head drooped, eyes closed, body limp. The woman beside them, her sister, perhaps, stood frozen in shock. A little girl nearby stared in confusion, while a curly-haired young man jumped up from the other side of the aisle. The entire cabin paused. Time felt suspended. Her name was Jessica Carter, a marketing executive returning from a conference, mother of one, with no history of serious illness. The man holding her was Ethan, a former firefighter, now a physical trainer. He had no idea who she was. Only that someone needed help. He laid her gently across 3 seats and checked her breathing. Shallow. Pulse weak but there. He called out. "Is there a doctor on board?" A woman from row 11 stepped forward, Dr. Ramirez, a pediatrician. "I'm not an emergency specialist, but I'll help," she said, kneeling beside him. The flight attendant, visibly shaken but composed, rushed forward with the emergency kit. The co-pilot was alerted. They had 2 hours until landing. "She's going into shock," Dr. Ramirez said, checking vitals. "This isn't just fainting. We need oxygen, and I need help keeping her conscious." It was in that moment that something remarkable happened. The cabin turned into a community. The curly-haired young man, Liam, a college student studying nursing, assisted Dr. Ramirez, handing her what she needed before she even asked. The woman beside Jessica, her seatmate, Rebecca, held her hand and whispered gently, refusing to let panic take over. Ethan ran back and forth between rows, helping reposition passengers to make space, moving carry-ons, and clearing breathing room. And the little girl? Her name was Ellie, traveling with her father seated farther back. She quietly walked up and offered her pink hoodie to cover Jessica's feet. "Mom always says warm toes help the heart," she whispered. The entire cabin softened. As the minutes turned into an hour, turbulence rocked the plane. Oxygen was administered. Her heart rate stabilized, but she remained unconscious. Ethan kept rubbing her palms, whispering, "Stay with us. You've got people waiting." Someone suggested an emergency landing. But the pilot confirmed they were over the Rockies. Nearest airport, an hour away. They'd proceed to LA, where medics would be ready on the runway. And so, 30,000 feet above ground, a stranger's life hung in the balance, not in a hospital, but in the hands of fellow passengers who refused to turn away. Jessica slowly stirred 20 minutes before landing. Her lips moved. Her eyelids fluttered. A weak voice, "Where?" Cheers erupted. Dr. Ramirez blinked back tears. "She's stabilizing. She's waking up." The entire aircraft seemed to exhale at once. At the gate, paramedics rushed in. Jessica was conscious but weak. As they lifted her into the stretcher, she grabbed Ethan's hand. "You didn't let me go," she said, tears rolling down. He smiled. "You weren't alone up there." Days later, Jessica posted a video from her hospital bed. Doctors confirmed she'd suffered a vasovagal syncope episode, intensified by a hidden electrolyte imbalance. It could have led to cardiac arrest if not for immediate intervention. She thanked the people on Flight 4826. Dr. Ramirez, Ethan, Liam, Rebecca, little Ellie. "I thought I was dying," she said. "But I was held by kindness, courage, and strangers who became family in the sky." A news outlet picked up the story. The headline read, "Midair Miracle. Passengers save woman at 30,000 feet." The story went viral. But the real power wasn't in the media coverage. It was in what happened next. Ethan, who had been struggling with PTSD since leaving the fire department, found new purpose. He started a podcast called First Response Human, highlighting everyday acts of heroism. Dr. Ramirez was inspired to open a community health volunteer group called Hearts on Board. Liam got a scholarship from a medical foundation that saw the news. He's now studying emergency medicine. Rebecca stayed in touch with Jessica, and they became close friends. And little Ellie? She received hundreds of letters thanking her for her courage and a pink hoodie with the words, "Kindness, the softest strength." But the real legacy of Flight 4826 wasn't in headlines or hashtags. It was in the reminder that heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes, they're just people on a plane reaching across aisles, offering their breath, their hands, their hearts. At 30,000 feet. And far, far beyond.